Hey guys, today I want to talk about how to get faster. So, there's no argument that the best way to get better at running is by running. And there's an old adage that says practice makes perfect. But if you want to take that a step further, really perfect practice makes perfect. And that's where strength training really can come in and help your running. So when you add the elements of strength to your training, you will not only be able to run more effectively, but you will also be able to run faster and more injury free. And that will make your practice and your running that much better. So how does strength training work for runners? Well, when you strengthen your muscles, you subsequently strengthen your ligaments, tendons, and bones. And most of the time when runners experience injuries, it's some sort of ligament, joint, bone, stress fracture, soft tissue stability issue that happens. So when you strengthen all the areas around your joints, you'll be more healthy and resilient runner. Also, when you start to add in elements of strength, you'll be able to produce more power by activating more muscle. So when you lift, you activate muscles that you wouldn't typically activate during your run, which is a lower impact, lower stress type of activity from what strength training would be. So when you activate more power, you're able to generate more ground force reaction, which is what will propel you forward. So the more power you have, the faster you'll become. And you'll also be a more resilient, more stable runner. Stability is just a reduction of movement that happens during each stride. And it's really, really small, the amount of movement that would happen during your run. But over the course of a 3-hour, 4-hour, 5-hour run, that is a lot of energy that you are spending. So when you're able to be more stable with each step, you spend less energy. The less energy you spend, the more you'll have to focus on during the run. So as my time as an athlete and a coach, I've found that most running coaches are runners themselves. And those runners have been coached by other runners. And what these runners don't have is an experience in strength training. They approach it the same way that the traditional mindset would be. If you want to get better at running, you have to run. And they don't spend their time in the gym. They would rather be out running. And that's what they know. That's what they've been taught. So that's what they currently teach. But really, there's a big gap here. And as runners, we want to be more than runners. We want to be athletes now. So strength is a huge component of that. And that's a big glaring weakness that I've found. And I've been working in a gym setting for the past 10 years, and I've worked with individuals one-on-one. I've worked in small groups. I've worked in big groups. I've done boutique fitness. I've done functional fitness, and I've seen athletes from beginner to advanced to intermediate, everywhere in between. And so I know exactly how to administer things like a squat, how to identify weaknesses, how to overcome compensations, and really give an individual what they need for strength. So I know the opportunity for runners to improve via strength training is massive. There is so much growth that can happen there. So where do you start? And too often I see endurance athletes whose sole focus is improving their endurance, not branch out of that. So the way to improve your muscular endurance is by lifting a light weight for a lot of reps. So it'd be like grabbing a light pair of dumbbells, doing sets of shoulder press for 20 to 30, setting them down, resting 30 seconds, and doing it again. And yes, this is a good way to improve your muscular endurance, but only if you're a strength athlete. If you're an endurance athlete, the best way to improve your endurance is by running, biking, swimming. That will give you a longer amount of time working those muscles than something at the gym. So as an endurance athlete, as a runner, you need to lift heavy. And you can do that with compound lifts, things like squats, overhead press, bench press, lunges, pull-ups, deadlifts. These are all the movements that are going to really help move the needle for you. You'll be able to really activate way more muscle than you would with a lightweight. And you'll also elicit a hormonal response that will help improve your recovery, not just for strength, but also for your endurance. And there are always going to be questions about what to consider when starting a strength program. And the first thing is always soreness. And I'd be lying to you if I said you wouldn't be sore, because you're probably gonna be sore. But it doesn't mean you have to be brutally sore, not able to run, and really skipping your runs. So the best way to combat this is by starting out with a reasonable weight and by adding frequency. Some would think you would want to add less, once a week, once every other week, but this will just increase the amount of soreness. You'll never actually recover from the stimulus of the workouts. So you want to add more workouts, and that doesn't mean 60 to 90 minutes every single day, but adding in times 10 minutes, 15 minutes of air squats or lunges that will help continue to send that signal to your brain to repair those body parts, and to also help with that hormonal response that will help you recover, not just from the strength training, but also from the running. So you really want to add frequency to your strength training to help reduce that soreness so that you can recover properly. And there is going to be an element of time. There's always going to be a bit of time when adding anything into your program. And I know you're probably already busy, and running is your outlet, and you don't want to give up any time from that. And I understand. But really, when it comes down to time, it's a matter of prioritization, not even a matter of time management. And what can really help that is having a program, having a plan that you trust and that will make things simple for you. And then once you have that priority and you have that accountability, it makes things easy to add into your day-to-day, your week-to-week. And if you are just starting strength training, there is a place for you. You don't have to be an expert. You don't have to really understand the mechanics of everything. What you need are specific regressions and progressions that can help you and help anybody start in the proper spot. There are movements that work for everyone. And I know this because I've spent time in the gym. I've spent over a decade teaching people how to move through strength training. So with the proper movements for beginners and experienced lifters, you can find those strength gains. And the next video I'm gonna send you will show you exactly where you can start with one simple movement that will help in every strength move and through your running form. So I want you to be on the lookout for that in the next couple of days. But in the meantime, I would love for you to drop your number one question when it comes to strength training in the comments below. That way I know exactly how I can help you. So I appreciate you watching, and I'll talk to you soon.